Welcome to News, Booze, and What We Choose with Danielle and Dami.
Grab a drink, get the news, and hang with us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What are you drinking, ma'am? It looks cute.
In honor of 4th of July, I'm drinking a watermelon margarita. Go fuck yourself, Ice.
Refreshing and hydrating, so that counteracts each other. Way to go, health and wealth. I'm, I guess I'm patriotic as well because I'm drinking red wine, the color of blood.
Uh, I have this little thought. I had this like while I was driving. Kind of reminds me of like the margarita thing. They tied together. Oops, sorry, put me near the horn. But I was thinking about like all the country songs that have margarita, like the word margarita in it, and I was thinking about like all this just hatred and racism that's happening with my fellow brown people. And I was like, you guys need to redact any freaking mention of margarita or tequila out of all of your fucking country songs. You don't deserve them. Don't even talk about a nice little senorita and putting your boots in the sand or whatever the hell you talk about. Like,
No, you should be talking about your Coors
over.
Light.
Stick to your cold beers and your trucks, okay? You can have them.
Just reminds me of that stupid song that's like, my girlfriend thinks my tractor's sexy or something. It's like, oh Lord.
I do love country music. It's very hard to listen to while all this stuff has been happening, but there's still songs that I still love.
No, 90s country. That's the good stuff. So I think I would stick with that, like Strawberry Wine,
Mhm.
Deanna Carter, like freaking, what is that? Down by the river on a Friday night, beer canton and the pale moonlight, Chattahoochee? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's like those songs I feel like are the feel good songs. It's like now they're getting a little too, I'm gonna go beat my wife when the camera's off.
No. There's some good ones still. There's some really good ones, but I do love 90s country too. My favorite is Heads Carolina, Tails California.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I
that's another
love
one.
that.
You have to redact all of your California mentions. There's a lot in there. So
Um,
we don't want to hear it, okay? If you don't like us, you don't like us, you don't like brown people, stop drinking our tequila. You don't deserve it.
go
Okay?
drink the Kardashian tequila.
Enjoy. And no tacos for you. Tacos are
No
done.
tacos.
No
No
tacos.
tacos for you.
It's cool.
Um, Anywho, since we
Anyway,
last cheers,
I
have you had tacos?
had tacos tonight.
Because, well, I mean, it's your birthright. You're fine.
Yeah. And actually tried a good taco place down the street. But it was cash only and I had two toddlers in my hands and I was like, cool, cool, cool. It was good, but yeah, I need to find a new taco place that like accepts a card. Um
That's kind of weird nowadays. Even like a tap, maybe like a place that's like a tap to pay. I'm surprised that like those aren't just everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. Anyways, since we last cheers, I went to the zoo, took the boys solo. That was really cute. We had a lot of fun. They were very well behaved and silly and just having a blast. So that was fun.
Good. And I'm so jealous at the freaking car thing that was working because it was broken when we went. And the boys, Forrest kept asking, like, oh, can we go on it? Can we go on it? But I'm like, it's broken. It's not
Mhm.
working. And of course it's working. And they look like they had a blast on it.
Yeah, that was cute. I thought that they would want to ride the train more, but they were like, cars, cars, and they just had a blast. So super, super cute. And then we're just prepping to go camping this week. And yeah, I'm like, okay, what do I bring? I haven't packed anything. I need like a expert toddler camping packing list. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you
I
have
can put it together for you. Are you kidding me? I'm so type A. I pack
it?
like a week in advance if I know it's something out of town. When I went and took them to Portland back in February, I
Mhm.
remember I specifically packed probably the week before I started packing things that I knew that we didn't need the week of. And
Mhm.
then like made sure to get the toys and the clothes that I wanted to pack with me, like
Yeah.
put aside. And
Mhm.
just so I didn't have to wrangle it up the day before or the day of.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, send it to me. Also, question for you. Have you been to Five Below?
Yes.
Is it weird that
The
I haven't?
No. So the reason I went there is because I didn't know what it was. And
Hmm.
then when I lived in Paso, there was a Dollar Tree and then it said new Five Below. And it was like this huge shopping center, like massive. So it had Target and Bevmo and Blaze Pizza and Crumble Cookies and
Yeah.
all these like random ass stores. And then there was a section of it that was like a really nice Dollar Tree and a really nice like, and that's where I used to get the Hot Wheels tracks.
Oh.
So, fun fact for the parents with kids who like cars and monster trucks. Dollar Tree is the way to go for the Hot Wheels tracks. So cheap, and you can get a shit ton for like 20 bucks. You can get an entire racing loop-de-loop situation for
Cool.
20
Yeah.
bucks.
Love it.
Um, but Five Below, I went there also for their Easter, like, are they behind me? Their Easter basket stuff. Because it legitimately is $5 and below, except if you get to the back of the store, that's when you have like actual furniture, like electronics and all this stuff. But 90%, maybe 80% of the store is $5 and below.
Mm-hmm.
Then as you get further to the back, it's a little bit pricier, but nothing is really over like 30 bucks.
That's awesome. Okay, I can't wait to go. There's one in Alameda. I was gonna go tonight, and then I was like, I can't go tonight, so we'll go tomorrow. And just kind of get some. I'm looking for like fun, just kind of car toys, camping, little knickknacks, anything like last minute or snacks and stuff like that. Also random, and I'm sorry that my segment is way longer.
I don't
This
care.
week, this week I felt like I hit the jackpot on Marketplace. And I kind of did, but then it was like quickly overshadowed. So I messaged this lady. She had a like metal little bistro set for outside, like a little outdoor seating area, like just a chair and table. Does that make
Like
sense?
adult or kids?
No, for adult, just like for my patio. And adult for the patio set.
Okay.
So I go on Marketplace, I find this cute set, and the picture has like a table and two chairs. So I message the lady, she sends me her address. I go over there. It's a whole warehouse. She's an event planner who's like selling off like her stuff so that she can downsize. And I'm like, wait
Wow.
a minute, I need so much more than just this little bistro set. And I'm like in heaven.
Yeah,
Um,
you're probably thinking you're going to someone's like driveway or garage where you're gonna
yeah,
like
and
pick it
I'm
up real
like,
quick.
where am I? Are they gonna murder me? And then I walk in and it's totally normal. But I got, okay, I'm gonna butcher how you say this. It's called Adronoc chairs, I think. Do you know what I'm talking about? No.
No. No.
Okay, they're these really cool chairs. You've definitely seen them. They're like they kind of remind me of like Nantucket. Everyone has them on their porch. They're like little white wooden chairs. You can get them in different colors. They make them in
That's what they're
plastic.
called.
Adronoc chairs. Yeah, but I'm not saying it right, I'm sure. Um,
Okay. I know
anyway,
what I can see, I can visualize it because you know me, I love an Upper East, like by the sand, by the ocean type show. So I see them all the time.
so they're normally like a real wooden one, like could range from like 200 bucks to like a cheaper one might be like 120 maybe. So I
Okay.
she sold them to me for 50 bucks each. So I was super excited. And then I got my little bistro set. I put everything in the car. She helps me move. She was such a sweet lady.
I was about to say, how did you fit everything in your car?
My car has fit. Is that the right tense?
Did you not have the kids with you?
No, no, no. Let's back off.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just it was just me. It was like a little solo, little, trip. And my car has like fit like a giant couch before, so it's pretty.
Okay.
Everyone's always impressed
No,
how much I
I
can
was
get in there.
picturing like two toddlers in the back, and I'm like, how did you fit that in the front seat and the back?
So I get home, I like unload everything. I'm so excited. And then there's only one bistro chair because it was in a box. So I didn't realize that I got very small little like table and a little chair that matches. So now I'm on the hunt for another
Oh
matching metal chair
no.
that isn't sold anywhere. They won't sell just one metal chair
Without the table.
without a table and two more chairs. So, if anyone out there knows of a random one single metal chair in a very cute sage color, please let me know.
Oh, I love sage.
Yeah, it's cute.
Well, that sounds awesome. And thank you for reminding me about Marketplace because I remember I sold a bunch of stuff when I moved from Paso to here, but
Mhm.
I have not like actually gone on for anything that I need. And I forget that they have like pretty decent deals or even like sometimes free where it's like kids' kitchen set up,
Mhm.
kids' ice cream truck set up or whatever. And it's like pennies. So I
Yeah,
forgot that they have that. So I'll have to take a look for sure.
so much kid stuff.
Except I'm always sketchy that like you're gonna get murdered. So
You're usually fine. You can always meet like in an
you're
open.
like, usually you do.
You know what else is really cool on Facebook is the neighborhood groups. So I'm a part of our neighborhood group and people will post on there and then I will post on there like if I'm trying to get rid of stuff. So I had a bunch of like baby stuff that I like baby toys
Ooh.
that I was getting rid of. Yeah.
So this is completely unrelated to like next door, right?
Unrelated to next door, but still on Facebook. You just type in your neighborhood and then join the group, and that's it. People like will give away free lemons or here's some
Ooh.
clothes or in search of a couch. People
Okay,
do.
you know what? I think I need to do that because next door tends to be more of a like, what is happening on the courtyard of this street? I walked by and there's like police officers standing out front. What's going on? I need to know. Like, that's
You
usually what
don't
it
know
is.
why this helicopter is circling around.
What are they saying? I cannot hear. I don't know why everyone is like an old person in my head. They're probably not.
Might be.
Well, I don't really have anything to talk about. So, same old week. It's okay, so actually full transparency, we're recording this 2 days early, and one would think there's
Yeah.
not enough to chat about. Oh no. Oh no. Tr- Trumpety trumpety trumper. He knows the girls are gonna record, so I must do all these things in such a short amount of time, guys. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. So yeah, I mean, I'll think I'll just circle back to like next week when I do a recap because everything is happening over the weekend. So we'll do that for the recap of next episode. But yeah, let's get into what the fuck Trump news because on this midpoint day of the year, aka we are officially now closer when I feel like a grandparent, we're
I heard
officially
that.
closer to 2050 than we were to 2000.
Hmm. Yeah, that's weird.
Let it soak in a little bit. How are your dentures treating you? Anywho, but yeah, so what the fuck, Trump? What you up to the last few days? Because again, this isn't even a full week, and he has been a busy, busy guy. So we'll just kind of do a little what we're going to chat about, and then we'll circle back. But big, beautiful bill
Hmm.
passed him through the Senate. The Hunger Games of the Everglades. Apparently, that's a hoot and a holler for our administration. Hilarious to them. They've officially also put the first detainees via Coast Guard boat today. A couple hours ago, there was a video released. Um, yeah, let's talk about those first top two doubleheader situations. So the big, beautiful bill. It has officially passed through Senate. It is now on our way to the House. The goal was to have it be approved by 4th of July. So as of right now, has House approved big, beautiful bill.
Mm.
Live update 16 minutes ago. Still in deliberation. Still
Okay.
not there. Okay, so 1 minute ago, Speaker Johnson says he'll keep open a key procedural vote on Trump's agenda bill for as long as it takes. So that's not going to be good, guys, because Trump needs to go golfing. He has a strict needs to be approved before 4th of July. He's got a busy weekend ahead of celebrating his big, beautiful bill. House Speaker Mike Johnson said that he will keep a key procedural vote on Trump's agenda bill open for as long as it takes while he and his team seek votes. CNN has reported that Johnson and his leadership team are currently whipping members back to back the key procedural vote in a furious last minute scramble. as voting is underway, and this was legitimately 1 minute ago.
Jeez.
So far, 15 minutes ago, 4 no votes have been submitted. So, oh, I love it. They name names. Oh, love to see it. So the people who voted no
Hmm.
are Representative Andrew Clyde, Representative Victoria Sparks, Representative Keith Self, and Representative Brian Fitzpatrick. So four bill no's. So far, all have voted no, but they can still change their minds, aka we're gonna lean on them real hard, guys. Send your asses to Alligator, Alcatraz. So yeah, so far I'll do a refresh in a little bit, but so far what we know about the bill, we'll go through kind of the steps on what does this really mean for us, because again, Trump's big beautiful bill, his goal is to have it approved by a 4th of July deadline. Many are worried about the changes that could be coming to Medicaid, obviously. So this is within the last 24 hours. Medicaid is joint federal and state health insurance program. So the Senate approved the bill, meaning the Senate all basically did a big fuck you to anybody who has Medicaid. This also means not only did they do that, but they also froze billions of funds for children. So the after school program, basically they froze $6.8 billion in federal education funds, meaning that that covers pretty much uh, teacher training, after school programs, classroom technology, and help students who are learning English and those who are from migrant families, completely frozen as of today.
I just can't imagine like being like if you're not a billionaire, like why are you excited for this? That I guess that's my question to them. It's like how does this benefit you? And I'm curious if people who are for this that aren't billionaires are they like, have you read it? Do you just not believe what you're reading about, like the headlines that this is bad? Um, that it's really, really sad. This is going to be like generations that are going to be like suffering because of this. It's just like it's like they all just took like every single like, kind of like Republican ideology or like wish, and threw it in there and like just kind of just were hoping that none of us would care and that they could get this through and that they have the right people in power to do so. This is just so crazy. Like how is this happening?
No, and it makes me sick to think that there are people that are just like, sure. And then they go about their business, go about their day, and go to their, fourth house
Yeah.
for a long weekend. Like, how can you not have any empathy whatsoever? And I feel like this goes for pretty much anybody that is still standing by this psychotic, villainous behavior. Is that people who are standing by this, where's your empathy? Did it go away? Like, what happened to you? You were a human at one point. Now you're just a piece of shit
Well,
who doesn't give two shits
yeah.
about children, old people, people who are less than you, like you think you're better than them. I'm like baffled by how people can have just lack of human decency.
Well, and like the mentality of it is not going to get you anywhere. History does not look well on people in charge who just take from the poor. Because if you're going to continue to tax us and increase our taxes and increase the living wages and take away subsidies that are helping people, and then you're going to get richer, it's not going to work out. Like people are going to be extremely pissed when they're hungry, when they have no medical, when they can't send their kids to school, like to an after school, whatever it is within this, like you're pissing people off. And so you don't want to piss off uh, your constituents.
Well,
So
I saw a thing that was like, we need to all watch Star Wars again and see how like when you piss someone off enough, what happens there?
yeah, I mean, every story has a villain. Like this is it, guys. choose your side or you've chosen your side. So,
And again, if you're standing with their side and you are really ready to be like, no, I firmly believe everything that they're saying is right, you are a vile human being who needs to be lobotomized because what the fuck is wrong with your brain to think that this is actually okay and humane and accepting like of the fact that these are severely going to murder. Like they're basically you're like, I'm okay with murdering people. I'm all
well,
right. I'm cool with that. Purge, bring it on. Bring on the purge. I'm actually waiting for that day when the purge actually is a real thing.
I mean, this is putting us all in debt. This isn't good. This isn't just like if I'm sorry, but if you're not a billionaire and you probably aren't, we're fucked. So you should be pissed. Go and read this. And if you still don't
If
believe,
you can read.
you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it when the local hospital in your rural area closes. You're gonna feel that. When you don't have any more Medicaid, you're gonna feel that. When you're not getting Social Security, you're gonna feel that. When food stamps aren't there, you're gonna feel that too. So all of the security that America has provided you, that you've been complaining about, your privilege, it's all going away because now we're slaves. So be pissed. Just be pissed. I think everyone needs to call their representatives. We need to rise up and just be fucking pissed and rip these people because it's not just Trump now. It is your representatives in your state. They are saying they don't give a fuck about you. So tell them that you're there. That's my advice. Show them that you're there. Show them that you do care. Who cares about Trump? Who cares about like what party you're in? It doesn't matter anymore. These are people and children who are dying in your own country.
In your own hands. Like think of it that way. And that's going back to what we discussed last time. Is like, how can you not see if you have kids or have any kind of feeling towards a child of it be like wanting to protect them? How can you not see that child in other children? That is what makes me sick is that people are so heartless and callous that you can't see what your hatred is doing to everyone else. And guess what? A lot of these people, and I've been seeing the uprising of those videos, a lot of these people were all big old Trump supporters and like, oh, it's gonna make America wealthy again. Get me money, cheap gas, cheap eggs. And all of them are crying on the internet about how now they can't even afford to feed their 10,000 children. Like, you did it to yourself, you fucking idiots.
The other thing it's so crazy is that I mean we've said this before, but like they're promoting like people, women to stay home and have kids. Stay home, have kids, let your husband take care of it. Yet you can't afford a single income. So how are you supposed to stay home with kids?
Hi,
Yeah, but
that's me. That's me, guys. I've had to, just so for full transparency here, because I'm so fucking outraged, I don't care. I've had to, because I don't have any outward help at all. I don't have child support from any other person involved in the situation that I'm in. I don't care. Um, I have had to take money out of my 401k to survive.
hmm
I'm like literally months away from being like, you know what, I'm moving out of the state now because I can't afford to be here by myself with a single mother income. So I legitimately, and it's not even like I'm thankful that my company pays well, but it's like also again, I live in California. I don't, it's not like I live in the freaking boonies where I can like, have less rent. No, I'm like in a big prominent area. So I have to start making real big decisions. And it is really scary because like all I can see is the only thing in my heart of heart is I will always take care of my children first and foremost. And I can tell you right now, this is affecting everybody. I'm thankful that I do have the job I have. I'm thankful that I have the income I do have to be able to do it all alone. But it's not at what is that? Not at a hindrance of like what else I can't save money. I can't put money aside for the future of my children. I can't do anything like that.
But it's in like that in itself is like what I'm saying is like that it's it's a struggle. And they're telling people, they're telling young girls, they're like going to colleges and telling young girls that their place is at home to get married, that the most that they can contribute to
Get that
society
$5,000 for each baby you can push out of your badge.
is to have children. But then meanwhile, they don't care. They're not trying to make life better. They're making it worse. They're making it worse for your future children. Let's say you are a trumpet, a little trumpet, you're 18 years old and you're being told that God, your home, and your husband are the answer. I'm not saying that those aren't wonderful things, but those aren't your value. And you're going to be struggling so much more.
Or their parents are going to take care of them and not let them see struggle. But then you're just basically a glorified baby maker. So call it what it is. You're a fucking baby maker.
That's not
Enjoy.
so
Enjoy
much.
being the easy bake oven of babies.
There's so much more. But that's I see that's like so gross. Like there's so much more to women than just that. And I thought that we were past that. But like look at you. You're out there hustling and providing for your family by yourself, right? And like
Hmm.
that they would be like appalled, upended, like, just but it's like
You you don't have a man at home to whip you and make sure that you're making his dinner and
because
cleaning
you
his
decided that it
no.
was better, you were better, a better mom and a better like human without that shit. So
Hmm.
kudos to you.
Hmm.
But also really gross for this mentality and then everything else that like is being done to the United States. It's just there's so many missed messages here. Um, but it's not a fun place to be a woman, be real.
No. And I think that we're going to talk about the Diddy thing, but it's
Yeah.
just basically blatantly obvious that it's no surprise.
Yeah.
Women are such a hated gender. We are just less than to a majority of men. And this isn't a feminism situation, but honestly, I don't care. It could be whatever. But it's being black and white about it. Like men and the higher ups and the administration, they all hate women. So that little extension wearing puppy killer that's like laughing it up in the freaking alligator Alcatraz. Oh my God, I'm so funny with me being such a fucking horrible human. He doesn't care about you. The fact is, he only tolerates you because you agree with him. If he could, he would try to fill you up if he hasn't already, and he would do what he wants with you, and you'd be disposable.
You're just a shiny object for his viewers to look at and
Hmm.
nod. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It is. No, you're right. I've been feeling it. I mean, I guess for a while, but I felt like this past week for sure was like this is a rough place to be a woman. And I we didn't talk about this, but a couple weeks ago, Bill Maher had he does like his like new rule, I think it is, at the end of like his episodes. Have you ever seen his shows?
No, but they talk about him. They made a joke about him in Gilmore Girls once. So I always like associated with him and prostitutes because they're like, let's just put hoe up at the dragonfly. And it's like, oh, Bill Maher would come running. They make a joke like that. That's all I know.
I don't know if that's Bill Maher. Maybe we're thinking of someone, but Bill Maher is this like comedian. He has a late night show, and he generally isn't like full. Um, he's not. I wouldn't say he's a liberal, but he's also not a Republican. He's like he's a little bit more.
Republican? Lip pub?
Yeah, older guy, so he definitely has some like different takes, but he did this whole segment on like it was for Father's Day and it was about like all of his examples were like stop talking about dads being dopey and like who can't do anything and then his examples were like of like Tim the Tool Man from the 90s. He did Al Bundy and like some other, oh, I think King of the Hill and Peter Griffin. And like so they're like really old references. And then was like, we've been apologizing for to women for so long. Like, this is why, like, the younger generation, like, how long do we have to do it? And this is why the younger generation is going towards Andrew Tate. And then he was like, he's an asshole. I get it. But like, when you just take away, like, all of the masculinity, yes, from men, like, this is what you get. And I just was like listening to this, like, this guy is normally like, he'll say stuff that is pretty, like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I get that. But this particular conversation, I was just like floored. And I had been thinking about it for, I think, 2 weeks. I mean, since Father's Day, it's been 2 weeks. But just like about how hated I feel like as a woman. Like, it may be like undertones of it and then outright just blatantly. But then you think about Andrew Tate, someone like Andrew Tate, and then you think about all these like young kids who are listening to him, and I am sad like that this is where it's gotten, that here we are birthing boys and
Oh
they're just
no, the thing is, I'm thankful for me at least that they're being raised by a single mom who's going to teach them how to fucking respect a woman. And I swear to fucking God, if they grow up to be an Andrew Tate lover, Andrew Tate, aren't they in prison now or they need to be, whatever? There was like a trial. But the next generation of Andrew Tates, I'm gonna be, if I so happen to even get a whiff that they are in that old mentality of like women are just basically cum dumpsters and they just need to fucking abide by their man, I swear to fucking God, like we talked in the last episode, oh, send them to a like straighten up my gay man camp. Oh no, I'm gonna send them to a get your fucking act right and you respect women, god damn it, camp. Because I will fucking just open that camp. And a lot of you motherfuckers need to put your children in that because you're raising them to be little shitheads that are going to disrespect women. And I'm pissed. Livid, pissed.
yeah. It's I know. But I mean, they're not going, your boys are not going to be.
No, they're fucking
First of
angel
all,
little.
they are. But you posted, like, I think it was one of the mass shooters recently, like a picture of him as a kid next to his mom with like AK-47s. Like, these are, and it could not be that. It could be like maybe just someone who isn't um as outspoken as maybe we are, who isn't talking about these things. But it just, I guess I don't have the answer to anything, but just it feels really heavy when you have administration that is like going and attacking um not only free speech, but also like the right to our bodies. Like, there is no laws about men and their bodies in any
I saw that
legislation.
thing that was like, okay, so all of these talks about women's rights, women's rights, women's rights. And then the girl literally says, so what men's rights have changed?
Yeah,
And the guy
it's
could not answer.
it's weird. We're in a
It's
really
it's
weird
every
time.
single state, it's consistently the man's rights are all the same across the board. All the same over there. But then women's rights state by state range to this. They have the ability to do that. They can't do this. They can't do that. They'll get arrested if they have an abortion because they were raped by their fucking stepdad at age 9 and they have to hold the baby because it's illegal to have an abortion, even if you were raped. Who cares? Abortion's only a slap on the wrist, guys. It's fine. Sit him back.
The lady in
I'm
Georgia who just
so
like
fucking mad right now. Give me a
we're
goddamn
changing
minute.
we're changing the direction of this. But listen, if you're female out there, you're listening, girls, we're with you. Like, we have to stay strong. We have to, like, listen. I know, like, this show is like, we're goofy and silly, and I don't always know the right words or the right things to say, but like, we're doing this because we care, and we also want, we want people to know that, like, we're out there too. Like, us normies are out there too, and we're
Oh, and
pissed.
trust. Oh, and the normies, trust. We have some haters out there. We're not going to announce all the haters that we do have, but just fun fact, we have women haters, women who think that we're idiots. And just to let you know, if you think we're idiots, then you're the fucking problem because we're just giving you facts. We're not reading out of a fucking Dear Diary. I'm gonna make up a whole story about this crazy
Or-
administration. No. You know what? Honestly, if you think we're fucking idiots and the things that we're spouting off are fucking bow hockey, kindly go suck your Republican daddy's dick because I don't fucking care, you fucking piece of shit, you
I know,
anti-feminist cunt
Boston.
dumpster. I don't care. I'm so mad.
Can we move on to
We can't move along.
what should we move on to? Would you like Hunger Games in the Everglades for 500 or
Okay, Alex, let's have Hunger Games for 500. So yeah, uh, allegedly, uh, I'm just baffled by the sentence I'm about to say. Alligator Alcatraz, aka, let's call it what it is, Alligator Auschwitz, because it's a concentration camp. Let's not forget that. And we're going to say it every single episode. So if you don't like it, well, then why are you listening? Hunger Games is in the Everglades. Yeah, it's not a joke because Trump himself was legitimately quoted, snakes are fast, but alligators, we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator. Don't run in a straight line. Your chances go up by 1%. That was a quote, guys, from our fucked up leader who's clearly, let's talk about the dementia, but we'll get there later. Um, Yeah, he's a horrible human. I can't emphasize this enough. And I feel like honestly, because his goal is like get the immigrants out, blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, they were only going to supposed to be criminals, but now it's like legitimately children. It's always been. It's a mix of children, mothers, people who are trying to do it right at the immigration courthouses. All these people are getting freaking deported. Okay, so when they finally get all of them, who's next? It's all the people who are anti him. So we're up next. Well, I can't even be recorded to say what I was about to say. Anywho, so a direct quote basically was he jokes around the fact that all the people that are going into the alligator Auschwitz, hopefully, we're going to train them to just, how to get away from alligators. Sure, sure, sure. And also, I do want to also mention something that my father, who is retired to Mexico with my stepmom, he sent me a very disturbing, terrifying, and disgusting, foul, anti-human article, not article, but information. Um, but I also started looking and there's like videos too of like people pulling in bodies from the water. But basically, they're throwing immigrants out of cargo planes mid-flight. The US is deporting people in military or cargo planes along the ocean and throwing them off of the planes mid-flight. So far, they have collected 260 bodies along the beaches as they're washing up on shore.
Okay, so you messaged me this in the morning and I okay.
Mhm.
Not that I don't put it past this particular administration to do this. Um, it's so there's a story currently right now that some shackled bodies have um come ashore in Europe, I think Mallorca in Spain. And no like US outlets have said anything about this particular story, nor like I don't know if they would because it hasn't been confirmed. So I couldn't find anything that was like Snopes gave me like something kind of like in the
I read
middle. So
what you sent me,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like, what's happening? Is this true? I feel weird like because we it's not coming from like a hard source.
No, I just wanted to share this more so because of the fact that like there are certain things that I feel like we are actually concealed from, like things that the news outlets will not report on unless there's some ounce of 100% fact
Yeah.
situation. So I just want to put this out there because clearly this could be a, one person incident. There's an article here and there's things getting floated around over yonder. Um, but just so we know, like this is what I was informed of this morning on July 2nd. So we'll keep an eye out to see if anything comes out, but watch it like 2 months down the line. This doesn't seem like something that's going to be completely out of the ordinary. Again, we have Alligator Auschwitz. We have people who are dying in camps. And Kilmar Abrego Garcia, he talked about his treatment in El Salvador. Have you seen the article that came out about him?
Oh my goodness, no, I
It
bet.
is so sickening and disgusting and foul. So basically, when he was in El Salvador, he said that I'm going to get to the part. I don't want to play a third party video on here, but I'm going to get to the part where they actually read over it. But it basically says upon entering CCOT, the detainees were greeted by a prison official who stated, "Welcome to CCOT. Whoever enters here does not leave." They were forced to strip, issued prison clothing, and subjected to physical abuse, including getting kicked in the legs with boots, struck on his head and arms if they were not changed in a faster or changing clothes in a faster fashion. His head was shaved with a zero razor, and he was frog marched to cell 15, being struck with wooden batons along the way. By the following day, he had visible bruises and lumps all over his body. In cell 15, plaintiff Abrego Garcia were forced to kneel from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and were beaten if they had fallen over from exhaustion. During this time, he was asked to use the restroom. They had said no, so he ended up having to soil himself. The detainees were confined to, I'm waiting for the guy's head to move out of the way because again, I'm watching a video. So, but the detainees were confined to. So, all in all, once his head moved, basically it stated that he has very minimal access to any type of outside help. Like, basically, he can't go to anywhere to go to the bathroom, relieve himself, clean himself, nothing. So, they're treating people in these places like they are cattle. And that's not even like coming from a vegan, that's not okay in general. Like, you're not supposed to treat humans like cattle. You're not supposed to treat cattle like cattle. You're not supposed to beat them, whip them, where they had visible lumps like the day after. It's just disgusting. And it's just like people are accepting of this. And the fact is, this was El Salvador. So all of now that's happening in the Alligator Auschwitz, they're going to go through the same whole spiel. And then last night, there was a whole flood. Part of the actual place flooded.
Mm,
Did you see that? So part of the place flooded already. So all these people, and earlier I mentioned a bunch of detainees. Who knows if they were even criminals? They might just be innocent people. Innocent people. Like we keep seeing those videos of people like just selling flowers. There was such a sad video where it was like right by a cemetery that's well known in LA. They were selling the people who usually are selling flowers right before you get in. People were in the comments going like, my dad is buried there. And I remember the kind woman that sold me flowers and I was crying and she held me while
mm.
I was just devastated because I was buying flowers for my dad's grave. And it's like those people have hearts, they're humans, they have value in the world and they are being treated and taken away like they're disposable.
I'm curious, like, what happens. I know we're on the is it the Human Rights Watch?
Mhm.
And like with this whole alligator Auschwitz, and everything that's happening with ICE, if those reports of like bodies washing ashore, I mean, all of that stuff, but like then what happens? Like,
They're not
um,
getting out. I don't feel like in the heart of hearts, I don't think they're going to get out. I think
from,
once they're in Alligator Auschwitz, they're never getting out.
I mean, yeah, they'd have to. We would need um to get them out. We would have to wage war.
I forgot what post it was, but there was someone that was like, I live an hour from where those places are going up right now. And if anybody is able to get information to any of these people that are, innocent immigrants, like if they can find their way to me, I will house them. No questions asked. If they need help, I will help them. Please DM me for more information. Like there are people out there that are advocating for like if they need help and if they're able to somehow escape, because I think, like I said, once they go in, the goal is to never let them get out. This is 100% Nazi Germany all over again. Like we have to stop acting like this is normal because back in the day, imagine if everyone in Germany had cell phones back then and were able to talk to each other and have this communication. This is legitimately like woke up one day and was like, I'm going to read Mein Kampf. I'm going to see what Hitler has to say, and I'm going to follow everything he had to plan out for back then because I think he was a stupendous leader, and I'm going to let him just be my guide.
I think we're
Chin,
all
motherfucking chin.
like either there's people who are like you said, there's like merch being sold. I saw that too. It's like you're either on that side or you're just like, how is this
If you
happening?
buy a hat that says Alligator Alcatraz on it, kindly find
San
the
Francisco
nearest
said,
cliff.
yeah, San Francisco said, no, you can't have that word. Go fuck yourself and
Remember
go.
when they were trying to open up Alcatraz again and be like, we want to put people there. Well, what? Well,
They
you know
did.
what? Gavin Newsom said we can't, so we're going to build one in the Everglades.
I I'm a little frightened that we're all kind of like they're not going to put people in.
Desensitized?
They're not going to put people in there as they're like the boats are going and they're putting people in there like
People are
I
desensitized. I think they think that he's lost his mind, which he has, because there's like actual recordings of him talking,
Mhm.
and you can see that we've already talked about the catheter in the leg.
Yeah.
But there is actual video footage of him being asked questions where he can't answer the questions. And it's very much a telling sign. Like I had a mom. I had well, I did, but I had a grandma die of dementia. There are telling signs of when a person has dementia, and he is given it across the board. That's why I think, you know what, you guys, we need to stop electing presidents that are so fucking old. They should not be able to have the access to everything they have. One, with the dictator fascism situation that we're in right now, but also people in general, they shouldn't have the access to all of these things when they're like one step away from dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have to be super young and I'm not trying to be like ageism,
No, like I don't want to
but
be like 30 years old, like big.
no,
Like I don't want that as our president, but come on.
yeah, I agree. I think we need some obvious. We need some fresh blood. I don't know if we're gonna get it since now we're heading into a new dynasty. Um,
No, he's going to try to get rid of the election so he can just stay president forever.
King.
That's the goal.
So, all right. Anyways, let's move her along because this section really was a whole dumpster fire of Trump.
Well, and if you want to buy Trump merch, you're looking at the wrong place, y'all. We can definitely drop the links for everything else we talked about, but I'm not including that link for how to buy Trump merch, you idiots. You're obviously hate listening to us. Enjoy, you hateful people. Anyway, let's skip to someone with, a little bit more of a little shift of rue, if you will. Someone that obviously wouldn't do us wrong. Diddy's verdict was released today. Eh. So basically, he got verdict was released. He was found guilty of two of the five counts, two of five, not five of five, like we were all hoping. Not guilty of racketeering conspiracy, not guilty of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion on count four and count two. He was found guilty of count three, transportation to engage in prostitution. Everyone is saying that is Cassie. And then count five, found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. I think that was the Jane that was interviewed or on the stand. So he was found guilty of two of the three, which means that each count holds a maximum sentence of 10 years. However, even with the potential of 20 years max sentence, again, that's 20 years maximum sentence. That does not mean diddly squat in this case because obviously he can easily be released on bond. However, found out about 2, 3 hours ago that his bond release or released on parole was denied. So he is set to have the next update in October 3rd, if I'm correct. Did he October? Yeah, 3rd. So he was denied bail, will remain in jail until October sentencing. So at least he wasn't released to do his fucking crazy town. Like, I'm just saying, 50 Cent has been very vocal. I just hope 50 Cent security is real great
Well,
because
who
he is
don't know
voiced.
who don't know who did it?
Oh my God, everyone be like, did 50 Cent get shot up? It's crazy town. Happened
Weird.
the day that the big day that P. Diddy went free. What the hell? Yeah. So he's gonna be sitting away, tucked in his little concrete abode till October at least, guys. So we'll have an update back in October, unless something mysteriously happens between now and then. We'll keep you
Okay.
abreast.
Well, what could
Um,
happen from now to then? So,
yeah. Well, but like I posted today, believe women. The
yep.
end.
Leave it there.
Believe women. So a couple of things that let's say other news slash good news we're sipping. Let's all these things are a little bit more lighthearted, if you will. So Khloe Kardashian, she finally admits that she's has plastic surgery. Everyone, let's pause for shock,
She has? No.
gasp, a
I
gasp.
thought she was natural. That nose?
No,
No.
she was for years, she always said that she just got facials. So yeah, it's finally been released that she is actually had because I think it's like and I think I wanted to say because I wanted to have a little bit more of like pop culture lightheartedness in all of the
Same.
heaviness. Um, I think it started with because of the fact that Kylie came out and straight up was like, "Yeah, these are my boobs. This is what I asked for from the doctor. Here you go." I think
Oh
that
yeah,
kind
I
of
saw
started it
that.
because after that, it was like then Kris Jenner admitted that she had face surgery. It's like, no shit,
Mhm.
girl. So Chloe finally said, yeah, after about 15 years, I had a nose job from this person, a laser hair for a hairline treatment, and a laser hair removal everywhere else, Botox and Sculptura for my face. I had a tumor removed in my cheek.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that episode. She had like a band-aid on her chin or season.
Interesting. She said in a cheek. Soft wave laser is for skin tightening. Filler in the past. Um, Lost 80 pounds over the years. That's crazy. 80 pounds is a lot.
Wow.
She is very, very tight and taut.
Mhm.
Collagen baby threads underneath my chin and neck.
Oh, that's
Salmon sperm, yeah, salmon sperm facial, regular facials, peptides, vitamins, and daily skincare. So I'm actually glad. I think that this is good because people who get, it's not just a matter of like weight loss, but when your entire face changes, you can't just say, oh, I just had facials. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. That's not how it happens. And then people are like, oh, I use my guawasha.
like
Like
wash.
Avrida. Avrida. It just changed my entire face. My nose completely changed shape. My eyelids have gone away. And yeah, look great. So I'm just glad that people are becoming a little bit more transparent. I hope this is a kind of like a domino effect, a situation of where it's like other people don't feel like they have to conceal like the things they've done when people are asked, like cough, cough, Lindsay Lohan, cough, cough. She's still convinced that, oh yeah, I had a diet, really good diet, and I just ate a lot of chia seeds.
Recently, she said that.
Yeah. Yeah, after her whole new face. And granted, it was basically like everything was like this.
Chia
Like,
seeds?
yeah, no, she said that she had changed her diet and she had a new face. And then everyone's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that she announced that she's sober." And nowhere in it does she say that she's sober. She just say everyone just assumes like, "Oh my God, your face looks so great. You must be sober." It's like Homegirl's probably still drinking a little bit of wine at dinner and stuff like that, but she's never admitted that she's like sober. She just said that, "Oh, I just drink a lot of chia seeds."
That is so funny. That's so
Mm.
funny to like hear anyone like even kudos to Kris Jenner for admitting it because I feel like in her like her generation isn't used to doing that. But anyone who's like our age still lying about it, why?
Like
Stop.
imagine if all of a sudden I had a really thin nose and like this was lifted or something, and I'd be like, "What are you guys talking about? I just had a lot of flax seeds."
I would listen, guys. I my nose is fine, but I would totally do it. I would do it. I mean,
So Lindsay Lohan says, I drink juice every morning. It's carrot, ginger, lemon, olive oil, and apple. I also drink a lot of green tea, a lot of water. I'm a big pickled beets person, so I put them in almost everything. My skincare is very specific. I'm trying out some serums now that doing, testing them, seeing what works. I'm a big believer in an ice cold water on your face when you first wake up. Lemon juice a lot, and tons of chia seeds in my water. Eye patches I do every morning. I'm a little into lasers.
Shut up.
Girl, you have a new face. Like, granted, her face looks
Either.
phenomenal.
Good for her for saying lasers at least, because I feel like oh, was it Jennifer Lopez was like, I do nothing, blah blah blah. No Botox here. Also, Selma Hayek said the same thing, and I'm like, you guys probably have done lasers though, and that's totally fine. It's not plastic surgery, and I don't, but you should be honest and tell people like in
When they're
order to
asking, okay, there's a difference.
yeah. Like how, well, not even like, I think that Jennifer Lopez and Selma Hayek have always maintained like their youthfulness, like they haven't, it wasn't like Lindsay Lohan where you're like,
Okay, what is
oh.
the common denominator there, guys?
But
They're Latina.
but it's not just that either. Like I'm sorry, but like, yes, us Latinas do have some great
Well, and
genes.
I also, let's just be completely transparent. I have also been doing anti-wrinkle cream medic or anti-wrinkle creams and serums and stuff since I was like 16 years old because
You're the
I had a
original.
mother that was very vain. My mother was very vain, and she very much told me at a young age that your skin is really important and it can only take you so far. So, because of my skewed mentality about that, you can thank that my mom telling me that at a young age is why I did literally at 16. I would put on my hands, down my neck, on my chest, and I've been doing it for now, legitimately, 23 years of skincare.
It shows. It shows you look good. You look good, girl.
Thanks. Yeah. So if you can go back in time and start doing it at 16, on your hands. Granted, hands can also because if
Oh,
as you
yeah.
get old, regardless, you can literally if you don't put sunscreen on your hands, sunscreen matters. I know that like now the big thing is sunscreen. Sunscreen causes cancer, so you should stop using sunscreen. Well, then sun causes cancer, so you should stop going in the sun. So it's like, what is it, guys?
I'm fake news.
I know. I know. It's just like stop listening to everything. Just stop. Please, guys, just take care of yourself. But
Your sunscreen.
anyhow. Another uplifting news, good news, is Devil Wears Prada 2 was officially in production this week, and it's all original cast. So all
Oh,
original cast, all original. So Anne Hathaway, Stanley Tucci, freaking not Meryl Streep, Glenn Close, Meryl Streep. Who was in it?
Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and
Thank you.
G.
Fun fact: my entire life growing up, I always confused Meryl Streep and Glenn Close. So thanks. But yeah, they're all returning and production started this week. So we're gonna get a Devil Wears Prada 2 with the original cast. Is Emily Blunt in it?
Says Emily Blunt.
Yay. Okay, yay. I'm excited.
That is
And then that, I mean, obviously we're hearing that now, so expect it in 2027, I'm
really
gonna say. Um, and then the last part before we get into what we watched was the AC broke at an animal shelter um, in Maryland, and people lined up to out the door to foster the pets so they wouldn't overheat and die.
beautiful.
So that is so beautiful, just because of the fact is like you don't think about just in general that happening. Like, yeah, the power goes out. What are these poor animals in these facilities going to do? But if you can potentially do that, like if anything happens locally to your humane society or whatever, head on down there. If you're able to accommodate a couple of doggos and then give them on back.
A hamster, a gerbil.
Do they give hamsters away at or like let you adopt a hamster at a animal shelter anymore?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
I thought
sure.
it was just cats and dogs.
I don't know, but I'm sure. Well, I know that there's bunnies too because I think people, I'm sure it depends on the animal shelter, but like people adopt a hamster or a bunny and then you realize you don't want a bunny or a hamster, and then they multiply, and then you have more bunnies or more hamsters. Yeah, I'm sure it's a
I
problem.
RIP, I had a bunny, Barnaby the bunny. I got him for Easter one year. Then I found out I was violently allergic to bunnies.
See, there you go.
I had to rehome him because I my eyes was like swell shut. Yeah, so RIP. He's probably not around anymore. Anywho, well, let's get into what we watched.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save Love Island for last, but I started watching The Bear,
Uh-huh.
season 4. I
Yep.
think I'm episode 4.
I think
I
I
don't
might
know.
be
It's like,
three.
okay.
Yeah.
So what
Thoughts?
was it? What was the episode? Did you get to the episode where the sous chef, she like goes to the market with the girl and cooks like the hamburger helper?
Oh
No?
yeah.
Okay. I
No, but
think
that
that's
sounds
episode 4 then.
delicious because I want hamburger helper now.
Oh my God, I haven't had that since my youth. But
Can we
no,
talk
shit, it
about
was
this?
real.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, what?
I got excited. Okay, but can we talk about really for like first before we jump into the bear, like
Yeah.
how when the bear starts every single season, they never do a freaking recap?
No, because you're supposed to rewatch right before.
No, I'm not rewatching that. That's like moments of my life that I can never get back. And yes, it's good, but I'm not rewatching. Like I have other things to watch. I have things
We
to do. I have
have
diapers to change.
things going on,
Like, and
guys.
every time I have to read freaking, I think it's like Vanity Fair that does like a recap, and I'm like, give me the Cliff Notes, give me the Cliff Notes. Does anyone out
If
there feel the
you
same? It's so annoying.
if you go on YouTube, they'll legitimately have videos of people being like, because the bear doesn't do recaps, here's a recap of what you need to
Oh,
know
I'm not
before
the
the new
only
season.
one. How
No,
stupid.
I was targeted for one because I think I said out loud last episode that we were going to watch the bear, and no, lo and behold, on my YouTube, I got the bear recap. It's like, huh, always listening. Where's my phone? I didn't. Oh, it's right there. I was like,
We can
wait, where'd it go?
next, maybe if there's another season, we'll do just our own recap so then we can have the followers.
Yeah, we'll do the recap. We'll literally just dedicate to these episodes or to these shows in general that never have a recap. We will do that. We will hold it to you right now. We set it now because they were officially renewed for season 5. So
Oh,
come
okay.
on back, y'all,
Great.
for
We'll have a
season 4 recap.
so annoying. Okay, but
2 weeks
anyway,
before 2 weeks before season 5 premieres. How about that? We'll do that.
how are you liking the bear?
I
Thought.
like it. I feel like it's definitely one of those shows where it's like maybe I'm in episode 5 because I don't want to give something away, but I feel
Yeah.
like I'm in episode 5 maybe.
Okay, I'll tell you
But
where
it's
I left off on him going to Claire's house.
oh, okay, cool. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay. Okay. Obviously, if you're still listening and you haven't watched The Bear season 4, skip ahead 5 minutes and then we'll get on to the next thing. Get out of here, guys. Bye. All right. Um, I think that actual moment on the stoop though was really good because I felt it in my core of that like being so upset and angry and didn't have the closure from it from the first time. Because there's a difference. When you have the closure, you're just like, all right, I'm out
Mhm.
of here. But if you don't have the closure, those moments are key. And I feel like in a weird way, I don't, even though it was my call, my decision, my choice, I don't think I've ever had that because I haven't had that yelling out, like, what the fuck is wrong with you kind of moment. Like, I need to get this all off my chest to the
Yeah.
person. I haven't had that. So I still have that moment where I'm like, I want to be this cruel and this like open and honest. But I feel like also at this point, it's like, it's such a wash now at this point for me in there, how long is it supposed to be after the fact? Like for them? Because that's the part I forgot about. Like how long after they weren't together from the last season did this happen?
I think she says it's been a couple months. I think she says that. She tells
Okay.
him like it's been a couple months. Like, yeah.
Okay,
So
I must have missed that or something or like blinked really hard when that happened, but um so a couple months. So yeah, I think it's very necessary in general bringing this into like real time too is you need to have those kind of like knockout drag out like yelling at each other on a stoop type of situations for closure. I did for a second there think though that they were gonna have a moment where it was like, wait, we do still love each other. And
Mm.
then I was actually shocked that they didn't. And she just
Yeah,
was like, okay, bye, and like went inside. What do you think?
I think she'll be back. I think he'll be back.
Well, the rumor is that they're together in real life, right?
Oh no, I didn't know that. That's scary.
So, did you know the history of his past relationship?
Mm-mm.
So he was with a girl, and I actually followed her because she's kind of an actress too.
Mhm.
If you look her up while I'm talking, you'll probably see what she was in. But Jeremy White's ex-wife, actress, like whatever she's in, I remember seeing her in something else, but they were apparently together since like high school.
Ah,
They were
okay.
like high school sweethearts, been together forever, have two kids, all of this. Um, and then during the second season of The Bear, he left his wife. And she posted a lot of shit on Instagram, and I was still following her at this time. She was posting as a very like, you fucked me over type of girl. I wonder if they're still there. Um,
She was so
I
she,
really wonder.
she looks familiar too.
She does. So she is definitely an actress, but I'm gonna look up to see if her original. So what's her name again?
Addison Timlin.
Addison Timlin. Okay.
Or
So let's see. She's obviously with like a new guy now. Like he's also like dating that girl that plays the girl on the stoop. But she posted like one Mother's Day. Um, oh, she still has pictures of her and Jeremy Allen together.
co-parent is
Interesting.
not
So,
how I pictured
so
it.
this makes me think she still has those pictures up. What were you saying? Sorry.
She says co-parent is not how I pictured it. It's so fucking hard. It is all out covered in shit. Trying to get to the article.
I can read you because she wrote it in her caption. She's left every single picture of her and him up. Good. Praise. I too have. I have. I've, I'm like, that was a part of my life. That was part of my life. I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to act as if it didn't exist. I'll leave it up. That's fine. If you want to go like zooming on back to my past, go for it. Um,
Hmm. I'm reading the whole
It
full thing.
says it says co-parent is not how I pictured it. She's posted this on May 14th, 2023. Co-parent is not how I pictured it. It is so fucking hard. It is all out, covered in shit, crying on the floor, kick you in the shins, screaming with no coming out hard. It's not the natural order of things. It can be exhausting, but more than anything, it can be so, so lonely. When something magical happens and you have to tell yourself, don't forget this, because there's no witness by your side. It's so painful. But just like everything with motherhood, the lows are demolished by the staggering heights. To live with young children in or is an eyes wide open, wondrous and joyous place to be. It's to be surrounded by a daily expression of their authentic selves, and I wonder if without their example, I would have been able to do the same. My hope for all mothers is that the expansive, unconditional, without fear or judgment love we offer our children can be turned towards ourselves as much as possible. We need it. Knowing what is best for you is easy if you can get quiet enough. Doing what is best for you can seem impossible, but it's not. I'm feeling so peaceful today and so deeply in love with my children. Being a mom is the only thing that I've ever wanted, and being theirs is just the luckiest, most remarkable thing on the planet. Doing it alone has given me more strength and more empathy and more tears than anything else in my life ever has. So, thank you for everyone who has helped me in these past 9 months. The moms who picked my kid up from school in an emergency, playdates that made weekends feel a little less like climbing up a small mountain, crying in my car, urgent care centers, Frozen 1 and 2, and my little man JJ, Kraft mac and cheese, dry shampoo, ice cream, lollipops, goldfish, pirates booty, pull-ups, Crocs, soap and water, neighbors, my friends, my family. And if you turned and said to me, I've got you, oof, it feels good. So she posted that on Mother's Day in 2023.
Sony, the article says she initially posted about being a single mom and then later changed it to read co-parent is not how I pictured it. Single mom.
Yeah, I remember seeing where it was like a single mom.
And then she said,
I
just a couple confirmed that White was blindsided by the Mother's Day post, and it wasn't accurate. A lot of people were like, "What are you talking about?" But who knows what? I'm sure it's hard no matter what. See, there's a picture of them like when they're 14 years old. Oh my God. Oh, that's on the internet. That's too funny. But like I'm sure that's just so hard. Like you've been together your whole life and then to
They
be
were like childhood sweethearts. They weren't even high school sweethearts. They were childhood sweethearts.
Mhm. Yeah. So oof, that's a hard one. Wild, wild. I did not know that. I didn't know anything about like his personal um life. So
Yeah.
thank
Well, rest assured, I'll always fill you in. No, I remember even then, because like back then, obviously, I wasn't a single mom. Was a mother of one, two. No, I had a little fresh baby of Wyatt, and I was two at that in 2023. So crazy to think the year after, though. Doozy. Yeah. So it is kind of crazy to think, just like in general, just how obviously the bear, his character, most likely doesn't represent his real life, but he is dating his co-star. So let's go back to the bear and not get a little too personal here. Um, but yeah, so overall, I think what do you think of the past seasons? Like, I feel like it's one of those ones that's like very dark, and it's weird that in the award circuit, it's considered a comedy.
There are some really funny moments there. A lot of, I mean, it's all of the like supporting cast who are just like hilarious
Yes.
and really entertaining.
I've
There's
never thought Jeremy's character hilarious. No, he's dark, brooding, and so serious.
Jeremy's character. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Oh, that's his name.
Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah, no, he's not funny at all. But I
I
think
don't think I've ever
the that's
I
like
don't think I've
the
ever chuckled one time
I think I
during
guess
any of
that,
the scenes.
that's like the whole point of it is like that there's like this comedy factor on the other side of it, but or around it. I thought that last season was good. There's a lot of like, I don't know, just like pensive moments where you're just like, this person's really going through it. There's moments where it's like very, like you're saying, like feels truthful to reality. And then there's moments like I think it was last season when they're showing the like Seven Seas Christmas dinner and like this family.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it's like just like who I could not imagine being. I'm sure that there are families like that, but a lot of them I'm hoping aren't. That is wild to be around that much talking and shouting and like and I guess if there was ever a family like that, it's definitely on the East Coast.
Or
Like I
Nevada.
can see it. I can
Or in Nevada. Anyway, no, I
Uh,
can definitely tell you right now that I personally have had instances like there have been knocked out dragouts like of Thanksgivings past from my families where people have left in the middle of before even dinner was served. Um, who knows? Could be me this year. Oh, woohoo! Can't wait. Um, anyway, but yeah, I think that episode alone is the one that got them the Emmy nomination, if I'm correct. I want to say that got them the Emmy nomination for that one episode
yeah, makes sense.
because that was the most like I remember people were like, I need a minute. I'm feeling anxiety. I need a minute from that episode. It was so intense. Like, this is why people are saying like certain shows cannot be binged because
Hmm.
it's so intense. It's like The Bear. I can do like 2 episodes a night. That's
Hmm.
doable. I don't feel like I can like do the whole thing front to back, left and side. I mean, I can't do it now without with kids, but without kids, I can imagine like people could binge it, but I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think I could. We watch like one, max two episodes a night as well, so we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
But no,
So
I mean, I'm excited to watch it. I think we're on the same, like, we're around the same time
we
frame
are.
for episodes, so we'll see how it unfolds.
Yeah. I also watched, so I voice note my friend Lo. And that's how we like we don't FaceTime, we don't really call. It's very much like voice notes. That's how we keep in touch. I feel like with me and you, we obviously see each other weekly, and then with me and Brittany, we have FaceTime hangs. So every friend has like their thing. Well, with me and Lo, she's about to be on maternity leave because she's going to have her baby. 8 days is after my boy's birthday. Both of them are born on the same day. 8 days after that is her due date for her baby. So she's taking like all of the show recommendations her way. So I told her about the latest one that I watched, and she cracked up laughing because I said Motorheads on Amazon Prime as if is like Fast and Furious and the CW network had a baby and created the show. And she's like, "You and Fast and Furious, what is wrong with you?" I, fun fact, I love Fast and Furious so much that the Step Up movies,
Did not know that.
Fast and oh my, I own every single Fast and Furious movie on DVD.
I did not know this at all.
Love it. Well,
Things that
okay,
aren't on
I
your LinkedIn profile.
so I blame my father because growing up, he literally, I was like the boy he never had. So I rewired an entire CJ5 Jeep with him one time, did the whole electronic system with him. I went on Rubicon, I went on the Jeep Jamboree, I did all the things. So basically I like did all the outdoorsy things with him and then did all the like girly indoor things with my mom. So I had definitely the best of both worlds. So that's why I love camping. So next time you do go camping, can we plan one together?
Yeah.
Please. So I love to go camping. I love to be outdoorsy. I love hiking. I love getting sweaty in the dirt. I don't care. But then I also love doing my nails and giving myself facials and hair treatments and all these things. So it's like I have the best of both worlds situation. But my dad and me, one time when I went to go visit him, my stepmom stayed back and she's like, "No, I had no interest in this. You can go." Me and him went and saw one of the Fast and Furious movies when they drove a car through two or three buildings in Dubai, which were all both looking over at each other like, this is so inaccurate. So it's because of him who I am. But yeah, love the Fast and Furious franchise.
So do
They're
you
actually
Motorheads? Is Motorheads good or what do you?
yeah. Well, fun fact, Fast and Furious, the last one. They're finally stopping. They're finally stopping, guys, after like 50,000 ones. They're stopping because they're bringing back Paul Walker, who's definitely dead. They're bringing him back for the last one. So we'll see how that happens. Just letting
Oh,
you guys know.
beautiful.
But Motorheads is so good. And they were left off on the two biggest cliffhangers at the end. If they don't come back for a second season, I'm so upset. It is so good. Like, even if you're not into cars, it still has that like drama element of like a drama, like youthful, but then also has like a storyline for the adults, like for the parents side of things. So you can be into it without like liking cars. But I'm just saying, if you like Fast and Furious movies, you will love the show because there's races. It's a lot of racing.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you for bringing me into that. And
Glad I can introduce you to a part of me that you never knew about.
okay, talk to me about the valley. You put kinda over the valley.
So I skipped the El Coyote Ugly episode because all I heard the next day was how draining that episode was in terms of like Jax and Janet both being in that episode, and Janet is just insufferable, and Jax needs to be get off our TV screens situation. I just skipped it altogether. I was like, I got enough recaps from the internet. But I watched the last night's episode, which was the one that Kristen got engaged. So, woo woo. That
Hmm.
one was good because Jax was in it for maybe 2 minutes. And then Janet was in it. And then at one point they're like, well, she's like, I'm not going to go to dinner to celebrate her engagement. I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to be any part of that. So I think I'm just going to bow out. Thank God she did. Um, she's insufferable. What do you think of Janet and Jax? I need to know your thoughts. Like, do you think they should be like, do you think they make up the entertainment of the show, or do you think they need to be like ousted for the next season?
Oof. It's like I think in our 20s, it would have been like, yeah, keep him. But like, I'm watching 40-year-olds argue like they're in their 20s. It's so cringy. I can't. I mean, like I'm down to watch like people having fun and maybe like having some disagreements, sure. But this is just like it's such a stretch. Like Janet goes after Naya and Danny constantly and still, and that El Coyote Ugly episode, I did watch it, and it just was like, what are you talking about? And then the like ultimate kicker is she goes and apologizes, and you can tell Naya is um like just has her wall up, and rightfully so. And just the apology just felt so insincere. And then what she starts it with is that she had a little bit too much to drink. Womp womp womp. Like, get out of here. You're so
Oh, the thing you're accusing your husband of doing
yeah.
is having too much to drink. Like,
Yeah.
that's what would be kind of funny in my situation is like someone doing that same thing where I'm like, oh, honey, I thought that was only safe for me, kind of thing. Like, you think that that is like an ongoing situation where it's not. And I
Yeah.
think that that's what's problematic is the fact that everyone is guilty of what she is basically pointing the finger at other people for doing. So
Yeah.
Janet, in that instance, except hopefully she was very aware of the fact like I've been pointing my finger at other people when I should be pointing it back at me too. Because like everyone is guilty of having those mistakes. It's not like you're being a bad parent. It's not like you're being like a horrible, like cheating piece of shit kind of thing. Even though that was implied with the Danny thing, it's like, oh, well, he touches other women when he's drinking. It's like, but you're only going back to that one instance you're talking about when all
Yeah.
he did was like touch her back or something like that.
It's just awkward and weird. And yeah, I felt the same. Like, okay, am I over this? But I'm obviously gonna watch it till the end and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I would not be sad if Janet did not come back. I wouldn't be sad about if Jax didn't come back. It seems like they're showing a little bit more of Sheena. Maybe there's like other people they can like focus on. But I totally agree. So
Well,
yeah.
and apparently they alluded to the fact because are you still watching Vanderpump Rules?
I am slowly but surely. That's
So
fun.
they're alluding. I think it was last week the rumor started swirling because Tom Schwartz was on Lala's podcast and
Mhm.
it was really weird vibes. I didn't watch the video component. I'm gonna have to watch it, but everyone was saying like how it's clearly apparent that Tom Schwartz and Lala are dating now.
Hmm.
And I'm like, that's the doormat she needs. She needs a doormat like Tom Schwartz.
I don't know these people well enough though, so that's exciting for me to
So
learn a
yeah,
little.
just have that in the back of your head as you're watching like their scenes because Tom Schwartz was obviously with Katie,
Mhm.
and then Lala comes in and she's kind of like the Lauren from Utah, like fuck you, I'm gonna fucking fight you in a alleyway, blah. Like so, it's kind of weird to have like this like two totally polar opposite human beings allegedly dating, but then they
Ooh.
came out with episodes saying like we're not dating, but it's like
Uh,
it's
it says Tom Schwartz and Lala can't break their silence on dating rooms. Is this a hard launch? Did you see that? It happened 12 hours ago.
no.
If they denied it or not, um, but we'll look
Hmm.
into that. Interesting. But okay. Well,
We'll
I'm
keep
excited to watch that some more. I also wish I had a cool nickname like Lala.
Her name is Lauren. Well, you can be Dom Dom. You can be Dom.
No.
Dom, like, look, tying into the Fast and Furious movies, because he was Dom, is Vin Diesel's character.
Dami will be my nickname. It
Hey,
is
Dom.
my no.
Or Dominatrix. I
No.
like it.
Anyways, okay, we gotta end so soon. So do you want to talk about Love Island? Because I gotta go night night. How about that?
Yeah, how about that? Okay, so Love Island, the last bit was last night's episode. So today, thankfully, is Wednesday, so we're on an off day. Wednesday is always the off day, and then there's like Sun is I think on the after show. Sun is on Saturday, so I have a new episode tomorrow. Last night's episode was like where they basically had to write all of these like things that they've been thinking and put it in a mailbox, and then people have to read it on a podium. all we gotta say is Amaya Papaya is our number one. She's our favorite. Amaya Papaya is her nickname, but she is the sweetheart of all sweethearts. She's stunning, beautiful. She's so sweet. And if people continue to come for her, everyone's going to riot. Everyone is going to villainize the people, the horrible humans that are in there. Ace is a little fucking puppet master. It was very clear as day last night that he basically has a lot of the guys siding with him because they're scared of him, even though he's a 5'6". In the middle of one of his little things, he's like, "Oh yeah, so you think you're all tough because you're 6 foot whatever, or you're 6'7" and I'm 5'10," and everyone's like, "You're not 5'10," but continue.
Oh, is he shorter?
Um, he's like 5'6". I can guarantee you he's 5'6". Homeboy is teeny tiny. Because Shelly, the girl he's with now, she's like 5'2", and they're only like this far apart.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
5'10". No, you're not. You're 5'6". Let's be real. Nick and Sierra are a couple. They closed off, so that means they are completely monogamous in the villa. Um, but me thinks that Nick, okay, so there's something, this is the first season that I've watched, but allegedly there's an episode that has to do with like the movie night where they get to show clips of past of what's been going on basically for people who haven't been present for those moments. And there was a very, very sensual makeout session between Nick and Alondria.
Mhm.
This was done literally the day before that Nick and Ciara closed off and were monogamous. So methinks that the movie night is going to include that little segment of them getting very hot and heavy, lip biting, hands in the hair, like like very sensual makeout session on the couch less than 24 hours before they decided to close off with some other people.
Probably.
So, and then Taylor's a little bitch. Taylor's a fucking little bitch. He is such a little bitch boy. He was stringing Alondria along, and then all of a sudden, after meeting this new girl, 3 days, he's committed to this new girl, Clark, who I have no problems with, have all the feelings for this new girl. But the fact is, you strung Alondria along for 3 weeks and then dropped her because she went to the Casa Amor. And then you were, after 3 days, you're like locked into this new girl and you
Mm,
have no feelings for Alondria. No, you were just in it for the money. So you're such a piece of shit. Um, so my hope, the all in all, the whole shebang, so I don't have to go through every single pairing because there's like a bunch still. Apparently at this point, half of those should be gone by now, but they're not. So people are like irritated about that. Is like normal Love is Blind is like there shouldn't be this many people left at the end at this point still because there's only I think like 12 episodes left. Only that means like a week and a half of episodes left. But
how many
I
weeks did it go on for? Sorry.
a month and a half.
Okay. All right.
Month and a half. Because so far we've had 26 episodes and there's 6 episodes a week.
Hmm. Well, good to
Oh,
know.
maybe it's been a month already.
That's
Damn.
wild. Okay, sorry.
Well, last but not least, but basically is my hope is at the end, Amaya Papaya wins all the money
Mhm.
and lets everyone on fire. That's my goal. That's my hope. That's hope. But I'm hoping that she goes into Alon, who's basically like a um really cute Jewish version of Nick. He was very comforting to her when she was like being really sad and like crying. So I'm like, Elon is single. She immediately broke off because her piece of shit, like person that she was in a couple with, is such a little loser. At first, I was like, he's really hot because he's like this Thai guy who grew up in UK. So he's like a UK accent, but he's Thai, fully tattooed, super cute. Yeah, no, he ended up being a piece of shit. Didn't support her. She immediately at the podium dumped him, was like, I'm not in a couple with you anymore. She went and sat by Elon. He is so cute. So I think I am hoping that they either pair up or she just gets all the money herself and she just rides into the sunset and all of them could go fuck right off. But I think also one last thing is Huda. I think she's getting a lot of brunt for the Shelly and Ace makeout session. situation. I think she's getting a lot of brunt of it because Shelly was putting her leg splits in making out with this other guy that wasn't Ace two different times, but that's not being talked about. So I think that Huda is just acting as like because she was like annoying in the beginning and she was the annoying one that everyone wanted off the island. I think like there she's just a scapegoat. So I don't know. I hope that all in all, Huda gets kind of her vengeance in a way, but I feel like Amaya is the one that is owed the winning. I hope Amaya wins. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I think that's pretty much it. It's a short week for us, so we'll be back. We will record next Thursday on my buzz birthday. They're gonna be 3 and 5. They share the
Mhm.
same birthday. But we'll record then, and then we'll chit chat about what's happening from the 2nd through the 10th. And I'm sure there's gonna be shit that happens because, our administration doesn't like to leave us hanging for
Nope.
anything.
Yeah.
Um, well, have an amazing time camping and everyone be safe for 4th of July. Don't drink and drive,
Mm. Take a lift.
please, or an Uber. Well, I've heard bad things about Uber. Take a lift.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, thank you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.